Hey, Dave Fan here with the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Bootcamps. The secret class bias against strength training. One of those things that exists and you're not sure, you can't put your finger on it and you don't know what it is, but it matters and it plays a big part in exercise, your health, and fitness. And it's something that I was somewhat aware of it through earlier in my career, but I could never put my finger on it. And then I read a very astute article from a writer in the strength world, and he mentioned about the class bias against strength training, and it stuck with me. And then I came across some sociology research on this, the sociology of sport, that reinforced this. So if you think about strength training or weightlifting, you think bodybuilders, you think lower middle class, you think prisoners, guys working out in the prison yard. And when you think of triathlons and marathons and swimming and cycling, what do you see? You see attorneys, physicians, upper middle class, higher level executives, people with time and money. It tends to skew upper middle class. And it was not my imagination, because one time when I was working for Goals and I was like running around like at 250, 260, I didn't own a shirt with sleeves till I was in my 30s. And a very smart owner of that gym chain sat me down and said, maybe we should try a shirt with sleeves, let your hair grow out, try some glasses, maybe drop a little bit of muscle, be a little bit more approachable. Because I was working for him and represented him in his company. And I took most of that and ended up with glasses in my 40s and grew my hair out and started wearing a collared shirt. And it actually softened and made getting into that gym more approachable. And another thing that I noticed about this very smart owner was he was the first guy in the early 90s that moved, when you walked into the gym, the weights were moved to the back and the cardio was moved to the front, because people could do that, but it's also more accessible and it's much more of a softer sell. These things matter, and it runs very deeply on the unconscious level that there is a class bias that aerobics and cardio and yoga and bar tend to move upper middle class and upper class, and weightlifting, strength training, powerlifting, CrossFit kind of crosses both, are middle and lower class or working class. And you know, growing up in a bodybuilding gym, it was definitely a lot of guys getting off work in the evening and working out in their jeans and their boots, and that's just the way it was. There was no really CrossFit or mix. But this is one of those things that you have to be aware of, especially if you're a woman, that what you're looking for is that happy medium, because you need resistance training in your training mode to get the most out of it. And when you're a guy, as you move towards your 50s, sarcopenia, where you're losing muscle due to age, you have to have this. And one of the worst things you can see is you tend to see a lot of endurance athletes or people that stick with nothing but aerobics and cardio moving towards their 40s and 50s, and they don't look good and they don't feel very good either, because they're losing muscle mass, and that's what keeps you strong and young. So you have to find that happy medium, and the way that this researcher said in this abstract is that the dominant classes use strenuous aerobic sports, moderate levels of weight training, and competitive sports that restrict direct physical domination and or aerobically strenuous in order to draw boundaries between themselves and the middle and lower classes. It's the way it is. There's no big deal. You can't change it, so you have to work with it. Competitiveness and demonstrating the will to win within civilized constraints on physical domination appear to be an important secondary principle of distinction. But it is important that you know how to find that happy medium, which tends to be what we would call more of a resistance and sporting mix. What it looks like is 2 to 3 days of resistance training. It doesn't have to be heavy barbells. It can be body weight. It can be resist-a-bands. It can be dumbbells. It can be kettlebells. These things work. Resistance training to help you maintain your muscle mass, get stronger, and feel better. Because just like we were talking about the other day, the vast majority of cognitive benefits come from strength training and getting under those weights 2 to 3 times per week and supplementing that with running and cycling and swimming on the other days is that perfect mix. And if you don't have that much time, like a lot of my clients do, what we do is we have resistance training 2 to 3 times per week, and we kind of hide the cardio in the workouts. So that's how you do it when you don't have a lot of time. And that way you can get the benefits of the resistance training, not getting that bulky look, not, violating those unwritten morals or, class distinctions, and still feel good. Because that's one of those things you have to get over is what other people think. I mean, what would they think is the number one thing that's held people back as far as weight loss and fitness for more than all the Krispy Kreme donuts and ho-hos that you could ever eat is worrying about the opinions of others. And what I always try to say, and what I've found over time when it comes to getting into shape and feeling your very best, is when it comes to the opinions of other people, is you really just can't give a fuck. You have to get stronger, to live longer, and let your quality of life be its best revenge. And you're there for yourself, you're there for your kids, because you're able to be there and keep up and feel good, and for your grandchildren. And in the end, that's the important thing, is your quality of life and how you feel. And that's the bottom line. And so if you like this video, like it, share it, comment below. And I'm Dave Fannin with the Body Form Personal Training, the secret class bias against strength training that you probably knew but couldn't put your finger on it. So it's out there. And don't miss out on the benefits of getting stronger. And I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.